Hello people of the world, let's get the international greeting out the way, aka intro. Hola, aloha, ciao, salut, ni hao, namaste, ohayo, yagamasma, zdravствуйте, привет, bunna, dzień dobry, sziasztok, hello. Xin chào, yabosio tere, salam alaikum, saskrekal, marhaban, merhaba, shalom, and habiri. Welcome, my name is Brunellesp. For those of you who don't know who I am, thank you very much for joining me. So let's get on with the video so we don't make it too long. Hello. In the meantime, I hope that you, your friends, your enemies, your neighbors, your dog, your cat, your whatever, everything and everyone is well. Okay. So there is a new collaboration in town. Voila, it is this one here. This is Revolution X Rachel Leary. It is a big palette. She has got two eyeshadow palettes. There is one for £10, which is Goddess on the Go, which is smaller, more travel friendly. I left that one alone. And I went for the big ones. The smaller one is £10. This one is £15. So it's a massive palette. This is the Ultimate Goddess palette. Now, I don't know anything about Rachel Leary herself, except to say that she's a UK YouTuber. I've never watched any of her videos, but I actually quickly clicked onto her channel the other day. Well, when I was ordering, because there is actually a video of her talking about the palette there. And she's got over 600 subscribers, and she's a UK YouTuber, so she has my support there. Yeah, so from what I could see, she is bronzed. She is all about bronzing. I mean, woo! But each to their own, and that's what this is, the Ultimate Goddess palette. So quickly reading through the information that it's got here. It's got here the Ultimate, oh, if I turn my phone the right way around, and that might help. The Ultimate Goddess is a palette that, hang on a minute, this is a bit confusing. Ultimate Goddess is a palette. This will glow far. Okay, somebody needed to check that. Hello, that will glow far, as in go far, glow far. Size up and take your makeup game to the next level. Contains 2 matte bronzers, stroke contour shades, 1 shimmer bronzer, 3 blushes, and 3 highlighters, and 16 neutral bright eyeshadows. And to be fair, Makeup Revolution have upped their games. A lot of their eyeshadow palettes are really well pigmented, so I'm hoping that this is pigmented as well. And I actually doing this review not only also as a fan of Makeup Revolution, because their makeup is super affordable and they're based in the UK, and I like to support UK based companies and YouTubers, but also because I want to see what it's like on dark skin, because these things work out differently when it comes to pigmentation and whether it shows on the eyes or not when you've got dark skin. So I want to see what that works out like. So let's get started. I think the first color I'm going to go for is 666, and I'm just going to dab in here and see. So we've been talking for 5 minutes. That's enough talking. So I'm going to just go in gently. It does. I've gone in there, dipped in twice. It's got some products here, but I think I need to dip in a little bit more on the base. Oh, now it's picked up quite a lot of products. So not too much fallout, not too much fallout on the actual eyeshadow palette itself either. And on my eyes, I've got forget red eyes. Sorry, I did have an eye infection. It's clearing up now. I've got what have I got? Doing editing. I'll put it here. I've forgotten. So let's try it out just in the crease line. Ooh, okay. I can see. Ooh, there's a bit of color, but I probably need to build it up because it's not enough for me. So I'll dip back in and see if it's buildable. I'm actually going to try a different way. I'm going to try and pack that color in. Yeah, works a lot better if you pack it in first rather than blending it initially. See that? Yeah, that works a lot better. The brush that I was using, by the way, is the BH Cosmetics brush number 5. And now I'm just going to move on to a different brush. I'm going to keep the look really simple today. And I'm going for the Morphe M322 brush. And I'm going to move on to the next shade, which is Fine Wine. and dipping in very gently. There's a bit of color. I'm going to go back in. Not much fallout, so I can see. Tap that. And just going to pack that just on the outer corner of the eye and see if, I mean, it's really not the right it's not the right brush. Let me actually go for a different one. This is another Morphe brush, and it's a bit more fluffy. It hasn't got a name. It's one of their cheap brushes, but I find these work really well. So let's try that instead. They pick up on the color quite a bit. So I'm just trying to build the color a little bit, and then just okay, not as dark as I want it to be, so I may have to make it a bit more smoky, but we'll keep packing that in. That's better. So it is buildable. Okay, for me, fine wine, not necessarily the best of color, even though initially when I looked at it on the actual palette, it looked quite dark enough, and it ought to be. The problem is, even when I'm just patting it on, it doesn't seem to adhere to the eye properly. It needed a lot more work. It's literally taken me for about it's taken me about 3 minutes of just trying to pack the color on for me to get it to this point. And what happens is I kind of open my eyes, and when I then look back down, it looks as if the colors sort of, you can still see my my skin coming through. And really, for me, it shouldn't be seeing my skin coming through, because this shade is actually ought to be dark enough. But I don't want to actually really smoke things out and go for the darker shade, which is 70%, which is almost like a dark brown. I really don't want to smoke it out. I need to go out, and I'm not looking for a smoky look for today, so I'm going to leave it as it is. Yeah, it needs a bit more work than I was expecting it to. And what I'm going to do now is go back in with the previous brush, and just going to go into Baby Girl, and that one picks up very easily, actually. Woo! Very easily. And I'm just going to apply that at the very edges, very gently, just to brighten things up a little bit. Oh yeah. Now this one is really well pigmented. Whew. All right, I'm going to go in now with the shimmer shade, and I'm going to go for Kisses. So let's try it with a dry brush. Doesn't pick up any much product at all. And yeah, you have to dip back in order for you to get product. Let's try it out. No, so as you can see, really not working that well with a dry brush. I'll try it with my finger. Much better. Okay, so on camera this looks quite intense, but honestly I had to work quite hard to get this color payoff. I ended up using a wet brush, which works out really well. It works a lot better than even the finger, but it was still ended up being quite a bit of work. And for me, even on the camera, because of the bright light, it looks more intense. It was a lot more work than I was expecting it to be. So I'm a bit and when I say that, it's not actually, let me make this clear. If you love you know, if you love Rachel, and I'm looking there because my brain's just not working properly, then that's great. And if you want to support her, that's fine. If you love Makeup Revolution stuff as I do, and you want to support the brand, that's fine. This is not a review about Rachel herself and what her character. I don't know her, so I can't make any comments about her personality, and I'm not the kind of person who does that anyway. I don't do the drama and all that stuff. I don't do personalities. That's not the kind of person that I am. So I'm simply doing a review on the product, and for me, I'm having to work harder than even what I'm used to. Even with the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes, the cheap reloaded palettes. So for me, yeah, I'm finding a little bit more work, but I still love the color itself. If you build up and you take your time, for me, it's not going to be I'm in a rush and I've got 5 minutes and I can use these colors kind of palettes. So far, I can't say actually when I say palette colors, because I haven't tried every one of the colors in the palette. To be fair, the others may act completely differently, so I'll give it that. However, that's that. I'm just going to go and finish off the rest of my face, and then I will give you my final thoughts and maybe try a few more of the swatches, so we'll see what they're like. See you in a moment. Actually, before I go, let me quickly test the bronzer. I'm going to be able to use the Bronze Glow as a highlighter, so we'll see that later on. But the bronzers, you've got the Blonde, which is too light for me. And of course, you've got the highlighter in the middle, and then you've got the darker shade, which is Indulge. The matte shade, I'm just going to tap that a little bit and see if it shows how dark it is on the skin. Yeah, so as you can see, it is too close to my skin tone, so I won't be able to use that one as a contour. It just won't do anything. So I'm nearly done. I'm just going to jump straight into the bronzer, which is a Bronze Glow. I'm gonna go light and just try that. I'm gonna use it as highlighter actually. That's not bad actually. It's quite nice on my skin tone. Yeah, it does. Obviously, I've got texturized skin, so textured skin, so I tend to try and go for liquid highlighters, which are very subtle. But as it is, I mean, obviously I need to put it properly on my face, you know, blend it in. But it does come out quite a bit, so be very mindful of that. But I'm not necessarily a fan of highlighters anymore. I think, oh, I've got something in my hair. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna blend the highlighter a bit more off camera. So my thoughts about this one. Would I recommend buying this? Personally, and there's a lot of no and there's a little bit of yes. And before I get started, because it seems we always have to make a disclaimer nowadays, especially when you're reviewing a product by another YouTuber. Yes, I do want to support. I understand the difficulties of being a YouTuber as well, and also how difficult it is, and also how privileged that is when you're actually lucky enough to be able to go and do a collaboration with your name on it, and be able to make money and earn money from the hard work that goes into doing YouTube. However, for me also as a YouTuber, my job is also for me is to do reviews and to be as honest as possible. That means sometimes I'll love things, sometimes I won't love things, and that's no reflection on the YouTuber themselves. It never is. I never ever make anything personal to that individual, because it's not my place. I don't know them personally, and therefore I don't have any say in what the characters are like, whether they're a wonderful person, whether they're a horrible person, whatever it is. I never look at that. I objectively just review the product itself and how it works on my skin. I also take into account that it may work better on different skins, and I always point out one out as well. So this palette for me is a no. The yes itself is because, first of all, if you want to support Rachel, then that's fine. Go ahead and support her. If you want to just try it out, again, go ahead. It's your money. You do whatever you like. If you want to support Makeup Revolution, again, you can you spend your money. Go ahead and buy it. If you are a fair skin person and the colors in here actually are suitable for your skin tone, and the good skin shades, especially with the concept of having highlighters and bronzers and also blushes in there, if these colors work for you, I think this actually is a good concept. It's not a brand new concept, but it's actually a good concept, and to be able to have everything in one palette, as long as the shades actually match your skin tone. When they don't match your skin tone, as they don't match mine, one whole side of it is automatically already not for me. Yes, the bronzer is there and I've used that as highlighter, but I've got a whole ton of highlighters and I'm not going to buy a whole palette for one section of a highlighter. So, and the bronzers, the matte shades were too light for me, so they wouldn't do much for me at all. And as I explained earlier, I prefer something that's a bit more cool tone when it comes to contour. It just shows a lot better on my skin because I'm so warm toned. And the blushes are way too light for me. They won't be able to do anything for me either. The highlighters, again, the same thing, too light. I actually use the highlighter, one of the highlighters on the inner corners of the eyes, and that's as far as it goes for me. I won't be able to use it on my cheekbones. So already you can see that one section is not going to work for me. You have to then take into account the other side as well, where some of the colors are a bit needed more work than I was expecting or I'm used to. That's not necessarily a make or break thing, because sometimes you don't want colors which are too intense or straight away. Sometimes you want colors that you can work with and build up slowly. But for me, I'm usually kind of like on a go. So something that needs more work is not necessarily something that I will go for personally. Everyone's different. Added to that, really, it just doesn't reflect my skin tone. So that's why I'm saying it's a no for me. If you are darker than me but you still want to try it, go ahead. But I'm really more inclined to say that those colors aren't really going to work for you. I am quite dark skinned. It's just we've got kind of like bright lights here as well. But it's a no. I am disappointed that it's a no for me, because I'd like to be able to support another UK-based YouTuber, but I have to be honest, that's paramount. So anybody who wants to start posting stuff about Rachel and her wonderful ease, I've made it very clear. It is not about the YouTuber, it is about the palette and whether it works on my skin tone, and it doesn't. So that's where I'm going with it. So stop kind of getting offended about everything all the time. It's just such a it's makeup, people. You can sometimes like it, sometimes you don't like it. If you disagree, go and spend your money. I didn't earn it, you earned it, you spend it how you like. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you find it useful, do let me know. I like to get a conversation going, a constructive conversation going, not something silly. I know it's a bit harsh, but really, I don't want anything silly. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, then go ahead and subscribe and like. Why? Because it allows YouTube to push my channel forward and offer it as a suggested video. Thank you and bye.